cardio burns fat, right? No. Cardio actually burns calories, usually in the form of carbs in the bloodstream that are then
Welcome into South Bend, Indiana, here at Notre Dame Stadium, the site for part 2 of our CFSL tripleheader here on a Tuesday night. I'm David Roy in the booth with me tonight, my broadcast partner, Matt Pack. And Matt, Clemson comes in looking to defend their crown against a Notre Dame team that they were the first to do it way back in Season 1. These two teams, they met in the Season 4 Orange Bowl. Clemson won then, and last season's win in the national championship game makes Clemson the first team to win multiple titles in a clash between two storied programs here tonight, Matt.
It's very much that. You know, two teams with a lot of history here in the league. You know, they've both been successful to varying degrees. Both have at least a championship. Clemson has 2 under their belt, and it's a big early season matchup for both of them.
Well, Notre Dame will start with the ball on offense, and a huge play to Dexter Jackson to get the drive rolling.
Well, you know, Steeman throws a high ball there, and Jackson does a great job of, you know, getting his head around, locating the football, and then jumping, because Clemson had 3 defenders in the vicinity there, and Jackson's still able to make that happen.
So Dexter Jackson coming into tonight, 5 catches, 41 yards, and no touchdowns. As Steeman can't get the throw off, trying to set up a halfback screen. Bill McAllister with a sack.
Bill McAllister doing what he's kind of made a career of here at Clemson, that's getting to the quarterback. And just a blocking miscue there by the Irish. Steeman never has a chance. Bill McAllister comes through completely untouched and just drops him.
So backed up to the Notre Dame side of midfield. 2nd and 21 for the Fighting Irish here in front of their home fans. Steeman checking it down, short to the right, and slipping through a couple of tackles. The backup and halfback, Stephen Watson.
Well, again, Steeman only able to pick up a yard on that play. You know, seemingly a little conservative. Now, granted, this Clemson defense is very, very good. They're not going to give you away, not going to give very much to you all game long. But Steeman's going to have to take some chances if they want to win this game.
Long 3rd down ahead of them, and Steeman looking to throw, 4-man rush, dancing, but he's going to take a shot, and he's able to connect with Dexter Jackson, but he was hit so hard, he's lucky all he lost was a football.
Well, his knees buckled. He got hit so hard on that play there, and, you know, not able to hold on to it at all. Just a good play by the Clemson secondary.
So the punt is away as fielding it from inside his own 15, Deidre Law. It's a good return out across about the 27. But out comes Dane Jones, and following him, Will Slay. Slay yet to throw an interception. Or this season, I should say, he's got a pair of rushing touchdowns, too, as Clemson unbeaten.
Well, you know, Clemson, as we've said, you know, they've only lost 1 game in the last 2 seasons so far, and looking to try to be the first back-to-back national champions. A big part of that is the play of quarterback by Will Slay.
Well, he's going to get started by going to his favorite wide receiver, in Dorian Chase Miller, who gets it out to the 40.
Well, DCM, as they like to call him in chat, you know, he's a big part, big name receiver for this bunch. You know, they got a lot of weapons on both sides.
Quick throw out to the flats, and the tight end Franklin breaks through 1, but not 2, as he gets 6 yards on 1st down, and so a very manageable 2nd down here.
Well, Franklin does a good job fighting his way through to pick up, you know, the extra yard, 6-yard gain. Clemson, you know, this is what they do to you on offense, is they just kind of, you know, and Dane Jones hadn't even got involved yet. That's what the thing is Will Slay is just throwing on him right now, trying to loosen this defense up.
Slay out of the gun. He'll look to throw, and then he'll take it and run. Slips off his own offensive lineman and then cuts into the open field. Got a great block from Jones to help him pick up 12.
You know, we saw a lot more running from Slay early in his college career here in the CFSL as he's, you know, grown into a upperclassman. He's used his arm a lot more, and Clemson's, you know, has done better as he's done that.
Slay to throw and bought as much time as he could before having to really air it out to the check down, and C.J. Banks. And Banks, pretty good job turning upfield, making the most out of it.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and again, you know, Clemson is just rolling right now on offense against a good Notre Dame defense.
We'll give it to Jones for the first time here tonight. Dane Jones only getting a yard for this Clemson offense. So 3rd and 3 now, Matt, for Clemson.
I expect something quick into the inside here. I don't, maybe even, they might try the option.
Slay to throw, and he'll find the breaking open Dorian Chase Miller coming over the middle. He'll get 12 yards and a new set of downs again.
Well, is able to get behind his defender there, and then he cuts it to the inside, and that's what gives the only kind of opening that Slay needs right there.
Slay the give to Clayton, who comes in to spell Jones, and Clayton will get 6 yards on first down.
And we've seen that from Clayton too. He's a big player, big, heavy hitting safety on defense, and comes in on offense, spells Dane Jones, and he's a pretty powerful running back as well.
Two backs in the backfield, Slay to throw, four-man rush, dancing, in trouble, able to throw it, and he's lucky it wasn't picked because in tight coverage was Greg Brault.
Yeah, Greg Brault was right there, able to swat it away. Might wish he could have called that one in, but 3rd and 4 for the Tigers.
Brault wasn't even looking for it. It's Slay to throw, three-man rush. Dancing around, going short for Dane Jones, and that is the power of Dane Jones matched up against the undersized Bubba Bertier.
Bertier, he's a quick player, speedy guy, but Dane Jones, he's a pretty big running back.
Jones is a different animal entirely. As here they go to Josh Clayton, who's maybe not an animal with the football in his hands, but he's pretty good on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, he's a headhunter on defense. It's obvious. We got a lot of good safeties in this league, and Clayton is definitely one of them. It just shows his athleticism.
5:16 to play here in the opening frame, and Slay has got his offense down inside the red zone, and the give here for Jones. He'll get it down to the 10-yard line, but only a yard for the Tigers.
Well, Big Al Walker comes down on that one and just stops him at the line, able to ride him down to a very minimal gain.
Al Walker on the season, 13 tackles, 4 for a loss, only to be outdone by Dominic Shalizzi, who's got 19 tackles and 4 for a loss. As a quick throw underneath, here's Clayton in the flat, slipping one tackle. Throwing out the stiff arm, but they're going to say he got pushed out of bounds just short of the line to gain.
Well, 4th and inches for Clemson. They're not interested in field goals, David.
No.
Clemson wants to score a touchdown.
They're out for blood.
They seem to be bloodthirsty when it comes to Notre Dame right now.
Hand off Jones, and Jones, he'll draw first blood on the scoreboard as the Tigers, they're on the board first.
Well, I like the aggression by Clemson. You're down that close. You don't want to settle for a field goal. The worst thing that happens, you turn the ball over and they've got the ball inside the 3-yard line, So I like the aggression to go, and it pays off. They get a touchdown out of it.
Midway through the first quarter, just about, and Clemson, they're on the board first, looking to go on and win 13 of the last 14 games. Now, Notre Dame, they've had a similar trend over their last 2 seasons. Coming into tonight, the Fighting Irish, they've won 10 of their last 13. They couldn't get it done, though, last week against a Michigan team who maybe surprisingly to some is 2-0 in the Big Ten.
It's cyclical in this league, that teams go through down spells and then eventually sometimes they come back and they get back up on the upswing. Michigan appears to be that way this season. I don't know how much that really says about Notre Dame.
Well, Kanan St. III is trying to make a statement here and say, Notre Dame, we're just fine, as he gets 13 yards.
Yeah, Kanan St. III, as we know, Greg Cook's his favorite player, one of his favorite players in the league, with a big run there for the Irish.
So 1st and 10 for Notre Dame out to the 45-yard line. Steeman going to try to take the run. He shakes off one, and big Dan Norris, but Norris, his defense is able to swarm and get back to Steeman, hold him to only 4 yards.
Oh, that's just it. That's the thing about this Clemson defense. And one thing that's so difficult about them is that they just flow so well to the ball, and they've got so much speed.
Steeman trying to keep it himself, and he is hit hard because coming up the middle of this defense, that was Ty Perry.
Yeah, Ty Perry comes in and just levels Steeman. He kind of shuddered a little bit and then fell down. They're not going to. It's not going to be easy for any team this year, I don't think, to score a lot on Clemson, and Notre Dame. It's no different.
3rd and 9, Steeman to throw, 4-man rush. He's going to air it out here to the near side, and Dexter Jackson, he'll get it into Clemson territory. Pick up a 14 out to about the 42.
A couple of big catches early for Dexter Jackson. He's got to be happy about that. Probably not as happy about some of the hits he's taken after he gets the ball, but another first down for Notre Dame.
Out of the gun, Steeman, quick throw, and he'll find Brandon Maynard the second. He'll get 6 yards, 2nd down and 4 yards.
All right, and now Notre Dame, their offense is kind of settling in a little bit here. They're kind of, find the holes in this Clemson defense, move the ball where they can.
Trips bunch, top of the screen, steaming to throw, 4-man rush, going short, and there's Zachary Cooper getting 10 yards. And Cooper, the team's leading receiver.
Yeah, which is, not maybe the first name that would jump to your mind. You might think of Dexter Jackson or Austin Gambas, but it is indeed Zachary Cooper right now.
His 16th catch of the season is Kane Stamp the third. He'll get 4 yards here on first down. Coming up to make that stop, Jake Maddox.
Jake Maddox, the pretty hard-hitting cornerback for these Clemson Tigers. He's matched up over there with Dedrick Law. It's just a crazy amount of riches in this Clemson defense.
Well, Stevens going to try and pick some yardage of his own on the ground, but he's only going to get a yard. So 3rd and 5 now for the Fighting Irish.
Well, 3rd and 5 here, and this is kind of a big third down. A field goal's fine, but you don't want to keep playing from behind with Clemson. You want to at least try to keep pace with it.
Well, Stevens going to take a shot to the corner in the pylon. Brandon Maynard the second out at the 1.
The tight end does a nice job there of keeping his feet in bounds and hauling the pass in. Of course, I'm sure they'd have loved to have had a touchdown right there, but give a fresh set of downs. They're inside, just inside the 1 yard line here. Notre Dame is very much in business.
Out of the goal line set to give to the backup. Watson couldn't get in, though.
Well, the Watson comes in, and he had space if he'd gone to the outside, but he didn't make his decision quick enough, and Clemson closed on him quick.
So 2nd and goal for the Fighting Irish. Steaming in the gun, the give. No, the keeper. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
All right, and the Irish do exactly what they need to do. They answer back to the big Clemson drive with one of their own. They get 7 on the board. I think there's a mindset here that Notre Dame, which team are we going to see tonight? Is it going to be the team that absolutely blew out Miami, or is it going to be the team that, got beat by Michigan last week?
Well, so far, Notre Dame tying it up, so at least keeping pace with Clemson early on, as you said, needs to be the key.
Well, they have to do that, because if you ever let Clemson get out ahead of you there, it's hard to make up ground against this defense. So you have to keep it, close.
Well, Clemson coming off a week where they were in a hard-fought battle with Alabama, and a couple of turnovers late by Doug Day really what allowed Clemson to capitalize and get that win by 2 possessions.
It was, because that was a dogfight for a long time. Alabama held the lead for a long time in that game, and again, a couple of mistakes, and Clemson was able to pull it off.
Well, here's a short throw from Will Slay to Dane Jones, and that's so short of a throw, they lost yardage out of it.
Well, Notre Dame reacts well to this one on the outside. As we see there, big number 21 comes down and is able to knock him down. That's Devontae Williams Jr. For the 3-yard loss.
Williams Jr., his 5th tackle on the season, as Notre Dame shows a blitz against an empty backfield here for Clemson. And the blitz does come as Slay going short, finding a wide open C.J. Banks, who's going to turn upfield and get 22.
It's a well-designed play. Slay looks the defense in one direction and throws in the other. C.J. Banks has got a lot of green in front of him when he catches the football.
So a new set of downs here for the Tigers, and they are out to midfield. Ball spotted at the 48-yard line. And Slay in the gun, 3 wide. He'll look to throw against a 3-man rush. Airing it out to the far side. Wanted his man in Chase Miller, but Bubba Bertier, excellent coverage.
Here does a good job again, just gets a hand on it, knocks him down. That's a couple that the Irish have got their hands on so far.
Slay in the gun, motioning for Franklin to come across the formation. Trying to set up the halfback screen to the motion side. Dane Jones trying to cut it back inside. He'll get 6. So a very manageable 3rd down here now, Matt, where Clemson thrives.
Well, they've looked really good on 3rd down for the most part all year so far. This is a manageable 3rd down, but this Notre Dame defense right now is flowing really well to the ball.
Slay to throw. Steps up into the pocket, and nobody open downfield. Excellent coverage by Notre Dame. The defender who got chop block trying to get back up and get to him, and just Slay makes the right decision.
Well, he
as
forced
he
him to have, forces him to have to throw it out of bounds, and that's just the no quit in these Irish defenders. Now they're getting the ball back with a chance to maybe put up some more points, maybe take a lead on Clemson. So that was a good defensive stand by Notre Dame. They held Clemson in check. So now let's see if they can do what they did last time on offense.
Notre Dame will start from their own 20 following the touchback, and so Steeman, he's going to keep it himself off the read option, and he'll get close to a first down.
And Steeman, all right, seems to be settling more into this game now. He's already taken a couple of shots. He's been hit a few times. He seems to, shaking that rust off, doing whatever he needs to do. Now he's looking a lot more comfortable back there.
2-by-2 set. Steeman keeping it again. Tyler Steeman with plenty of room to run. Finally caught, though, from behind by Kyler Smith. And that's how we end the first quarter, all tied up at 7. Notre Dame, though, looking for their first lead of the night. You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live. Start of the second quarter, Steeman to throw all day, and he's going to find the open Austin Gambas for a gain of 20.
Austin Gambas does a nice job there. Let me see this replay again. I want to see if he actually – now he used both hands to catch that one. It kind of looked like he might have drugged that one in with one arm. But he did catch it with both hands and does a good job of just hauling it in because he was already losing his footing from the contact.
Notre Dame out into Clemson territory. Ball spotted inside the 40. Steeman, a quick throw, but it's dropped. Incomplete by Zachary Cooper.
Well, Cooper not able to haul that one in. Going to wish he had that back. Again, Steeman delivered quality football right there.
That was a scorcher, though. That hits you in the hands. It hurts.
Well, yeah.
Steeman, though, he's going to deal some punishment out with his legs, or at least was hoping to, as he gets 17.
All right, the only thing I want to see from Steeman differently here is I would like to see him hold the ball a little closer into his body when he's running like that. I've always hated the whole idea when these quarterbacks run and they're like they're toting a loaf of bread out here. You're asking for a defender to come up and slap that thing loose.
Out of the gun, 3 wide, Steeman looking. Going short, and he will find, coming out of the backfield, Caden Saint. Good little 6-yard play there for Notre Dame.
Absolutely. Notre Dame's clicking on offense right now. They found seemingly the combination right now to be able to move the ball on these Tigers.
Saint the carry, and not enough for a first down, but they're only a yard short on third down. You would think they'd either go back to him or go to Steeman.
Well, Perry does a good job there of getting across the field there to make the tackle. 3rd and 1 here. It wouldn't surprise me to see Steeman take off with it again, but Clemson is crowding that line.
2 backs in the backfield here for Notre Dame, and not one of them is Saint. The Steeman to throw to the end zone. Austin Gambas couldn't get out of traffic in time to reach out and grab it.
Well, had him there. But as you said, Gambas just, too much contact over the middle, too much going on. He can't get through there because if he had another couple of steps, then that's a touchdown for Notre Dame.
Instead, they'll settle for a field goal off of Amy Shalizzi's foot, and she is perfect on the season as she was for the large part of last season before finally missing one or two late.
Yeah, that's the thing. These kickers, it seems like it's feast or famine sometimes, but Amy Shalizzi's been very good, year in, year out since she's been here.
She's been a feaster.
She's been more feasting than she has famine.
Yeah. Ball starting here at the 25-yard line. Dangerous throw, but Slay, he's able to make a payoff, as is Dustin Ellis, who gets 9.
I'm not even sure how that thing got through there because there were Notre Dame defenders coming for it. All I can say is Will Slay put enough mustard on that one that it got to his receiver.
2nd and 1, Slay in the gun, the give, no, play fake, is a short throw. Chase Miller, first down, Clemson.
Well, Dorian Chase Miller does a good job there, but again, Notre Dame slow into the ball well. Yeah, they give up the first down, but, DCM with the ball in his hand at any point is like a human highlight, really, if he wants to be. Notre Dame doesn't allow it.
Out to the 37 of their own end, and Slay in the gun, trips top of the screen. Play fake, Slay. 3-man rush, has time, taking a shot deep down the right side. Dorian Chase Miller, he's going to get it all the way out to the Notre Dame 12.
Well, I like the play again. Slay looks the opposite direction, and then he sees he's got DCM going down the field, finds the hole in his own coverage there, man. It breaks wide open, big gain for Clemson.
So the throw putting Clemson deep in to the Notre Dame red zone, and that Fighting Irish defense showing blitz, pinning their ears back. And Slay's going to keep it, shrugs off Dominic Shalizzi, and then is dragged down after getting a couple yards. Carlos Luzon getting the stop.
Well, again, and Clemson, after a big play like that, Clemson comes back and starts to, slow the offense down a little bit more. They feel like maybe we try to get this Notre Dame defense tired.
Slay throwing and a leaping grab for Dane Jones to make it 3rd and 2.
I feel like it's once every couple of games we see Dane Jones do the Superman catch over the middle on that angle route. But it works, so there you go.
Slay, the pitch. Jones, though, swarmed by the Fighting Irish and dropped in the backfield, back behind the 5-yard line.
Yeah, the Irish say no, sir, on that one. Make a solo in on that tackle to help with it, and nowhere to go. The pitch man it's covered. The quarterback's covered. It's going to force a Clemson field goal attempt.
This will be from 24 yards away in the right hash, and Frazier Flores is good. So we are all knotted up at 10 apiece.
Yeah, just good fundamental defense there when they had to have it by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and they get the ball back now. Again, their offense has looked good the last 2 drives. Can they keep it up?
From his own 1, and he'll get it out across to about the 31, and that's Bubba Bertier on the return. And so Notre Dame looking to go back to work, trying to get a more sizable lead here over Clemson.
Yeah, they had the 3-point lead. They did a good job of holding Clemson to just 3, but now, Steeman's got to move the ball down the field again. And can't make the same mistakes that Alabama made when they played Clemson with the turnovers and things like that. So and I expect Notre Dame to try to play more within themselves. They have to maybe learn from those mistakes that they've seen others make.
Well, they start by going short, and they'll find Gambas. He'll get 8 as Steeman to throw, taking a shot at the sideline, and Brandon Maynard II in tight coverage, able to back out of bounds, get the first down.
Well, it's a nice little head fake there by Steeman off the ball. Off the snap, he fakes like he's going forward, tries to get the defense to fight up, and then he ends up just firing a laser there to Maynard, and it's another Notre Dame first down.
First down and 10. Near the 5.5-minute mark here in the second quarter to give to Kane Saint III. Saint got bottled up and just couldn't get any positive yardage as McAllister will stop him at the line.
Well, that happens when Bill McAllister's in the middle of the line. It's kind of hard to get around him. He's a large human being.
Wall of humanity, you might say.
Well, he's not that big, but he's pretty big.
2nd and 10. Steeman. It's a 3-man rush as McAllister trying to get to him, and they're going to force a pick out of him. Laird Olive trying to outrun Steeman and Gambas, and he will. Touchdown, Clemson.
You just can't lollipop one that far across the field, David. You just can't do it. The ball comes out there from the quarterback, and you see Laird Olive. He makes a break on it. And the problem is the velocity's not there on Steeman's pass. It gives Olive the time he needs to get in front of it, make the catch, and then he's able to outrun the Notre Dame offense, and that's the kind of mistake. This is the thing that you want to avoid against a team like Clemson.
Bill McAllister pushed 2 of Notre Dame's offensive line backwards. Steeman maybe felt rushed because of that. And he tries to lollipop it, as he said, and Laird Olive made him pay the price.
Well, Olive was 5 yards off the receiver. It seems like when the ball, was about to leave the quarterback's hands, he broke on it very well. Just a good play by Olive.
So Notre Dame now all of a sudden trailing by 7 when they were hoping to piece a drive together to put them up by 7. And so now Steeman, how does the young freshman respond here? That is a key question.
Well, that's the biggest thing. We do see the freshmen sometimes, crawl in a hole a little bit. Let's see if Steeman can get his confidence back going with a good drive here.
Steeman to throw. He'll go short and off the fingertips of the backup walk-on.
Well, that's, again, they want to keep him safe here. They're wanting to give him easy throws to get his rhythm back going. Again, I understand that, but throwing it to the walk-on coming out of the backfield like that, that's not going to help a lot.
Saint checks back in, but Steeman not feeling any time. He's going to take a run and then slides, and he slides through the walk-on.
Well, yeah, because, again, Steeman is not really worried about the walk-on. He just, like you said, didn't slide under him. He kind of slid
through him.
Yeah, amongst him.
Yeah. Steeman, quick throw. The receiver wasn't looking for it, but guess who was? Jake Maddox was looking to make it 2 pick sixes on back-to-back drives.
Jake Maddox came after that thing, and like you said, the Notre Dame receiver never even turned around and looked. He didn't know what was going on with that play, so Steeman may have got away with one right there.
Well, the punt is away as the Clemson defense forced a 3 and out, and so coming out of his own 35-yard line, Laird Olive going to get it out to midfield. So a good return there as we want to give a shout out to everybody in the live chat. Dane Jones, Josh Clayton, Laird Olive, Coach Bernie, Daytona Dub, Zach Stone, Brandon Maynard, Allie Peters, Juan Cantu, Will Stern, Jeff Alnishin. As we appreciate all of you tuning in, making us a part of your Tuesday night here as part 2 of our Tuesday triple header continues on, and after this game we've got Texas A&M at Miami to wrap it all up on a Tuesday night.
Well, that'll be another interesting game there. A couple of teams that looked good last week.
Well, Clemson's looking good, you know, since the last 2 seasons. So
yeah,
I mean,
right now, you know, Clemson, but you know, okay, well, here's something negative. They're only 2 of 5 on third down tonight.
Slay going to slip through one. The pitch, though, Dane Jones. Jones down the left sideline, and he's going to get out to the 16, picking up 27. And Jones basically saying, what were you saying, Matt, about being negative?
Well, here's the thing, is that Notre Dame has a chance to get them in the backfield on this, but they missed the tackle on Steeman. When they do, the guy who's supposed to be guarding the pitch man comes over and tries to hit Slay, which is a mistake. And when he does, he hits Slay. Slay pitches it, and Dane Jones picks up a huge game.
Well, Slay's going to keep it himself this time. Only going to get 4 out of it as this Clemson offense, just week in, week out, man, they look like a well-oiled machine.
They do. And, you know, they know that this is a group that's been playing together, you know, especially Slay and Dane Jones.
Slay to the middle and a wide open Dorian Chase Miller to put the Tigers up by 2 scores.
Well, and that's just that. I mean, it's these guys, they operate, like you said, a well-oiled machine. And Clemson, this is why you can't afford to make mistakes against this team, because they are going to put points up. They're going to make it difficult for you, and they're going to try to get in between you and them as much distance as possible. And now they go for a 2-score lead here on Notre Dame.
It was 2 seasons ago when Clemson and Notre Dame last faced, and in that game, Notre Dame's former quarterback, Leo Asiati, he turned the ball over 4 times for 4 picks. Notre Dame was only able to muster 3 points in that game. Meanwhile, Clemson's Will Slay was flawless. 4 touchdown passes, no turnovers. Clemson ends up winning that game 38-3, and Slay has been flawless this season, giving him 5 touchdown passes, no interceptions. And over his last 4, that makes 11 touchdowns to only 1 pick for Slay. As Steeman to throw, and he turns it right back over Jake Maddox. Gonna turn it into points. Touchdown, Clemson.
Okay, and if there's anybody on the side of the road anywhere they can find the wheels that are coming off the Notre Dame offense right now, they would probably appreciate it, because wow, this is turning bad quick.
So Maddox didn't get the pick 6 like he had hoped on the previous drive. He had to wait another drive to get it.
Poor guy. You know, but it's another just great play by the Clemson defense. We can say what we want, but the fact of the matter is this group, this is what they do, and you know, they're living up to their reputation.
So Bubba Bertier on the return, and Matt, we've never seen a team win back-to-back national titles. Obviously, it's still very early in the season here.
Sure.
And Clemson being the defending national champions that they are, as Steeman, good throw here, finding Merritt the second, getting it out to the 40, and it's a gain of 9. But, you know, Matt, just Clemson, they didn't lose anything in the offseason. They reloaded what they had lost, and nobody has yet been able to crack this Clemson team. The closest team that came to it was Alabama a week ago, and their freshman quarterback made a couple mistakes. He just made them late, and it cost them.
That was it. And, you know, Clemson, the most impressive thing to me, and, you know, and Notre Dame can still get back in this game, can fight their way back in, and they can, you know, close this gap. But the thing about Clemson right now is just how consistent they are, and the fact that they don't make a lot of the mistakes that other teams are making.
Steeman going to keep it himself, and he is going to get shut down. Kyler Smith coming downhill to keep him short of the sticks, 4th and inches, and Notre Dame's going to wave the white flag and punt.
Now they have to at that point. I mean, it's 4th and inches. I understand there might be some of those saying, somebody out there saying, go for it. Okay, yeah, it's 4th and inches, but this defense is going to pin their ears back and try to stop you. You don't want to give up this kind of field position this early in the game.
Laird Olive on the return. He'll get out to about the 26-yard line here. 1:51 to play, and Clemson, they've got their eyes on that scoreboard saying, you know what, let's go up by 28.
Yeah, they do, and they've got time to do it. Just under 2 minutes, all their timeouts left, and they're going empty backfield.
Notre Dame showing blitz. Slay to throw as the blitz comes on, and a quick throw, finding Banks. C.J. Banks able to get it out across the 30. Clemson will take a timeout.
That's it. Clemson starting off slow. Kind of just dipping and dodging here, seeing what they can pick up. Yeah, but I don't think it'll be too long before we see a shot from them.
Halfback screen, Jones being driven backwards and brought down by Mike Thompson on the screen pass. It's a loss of 2. Still manageable 3rd down, but Notre Dame's defense able to stand up there.
Yeah, he's able to do what he has to right there. But here's the thing, 3rd and 6, Clemson, at this point, they've got the 3-score lead. They're 50% on 3rd downs at this point now. Will not surprise me. Look for Dorian Chase Miller on this play.
Chase Miller, the wide receiver at the bottom of the screen, and this pass batted off the hands of Banks and Minka Solo. Chase Miller had a chance to grab it. He couldn't haul it in, and so Clemson off the 3-and-out will have to punt it away.
That's an absolutely great defensive stand by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They did a good job. Knew what they had to do. Had to get a 3-and-out. Try to get some momentum going back their way.
On the return, able to get it out to the 40 is Bubba Bertier. When you look at the scoreboard, Matt, of the points that are on the board, 17 of them have come from the offense. The rest of the points, 2 touchdowns to be exact, they've come from the defense, both pick sixes by Steeman as he takes off and runs for 5 yards.
Yeah, and that's the problem. You have a hard enough time stopping Clemson's offense from scoring on you when you're letting their defense score on you too, where you're compounding your issue.
Steeman to throw, going over to the left side. There's Dexter Jackson. He'll get 4 yards, but it's 3rd and 1 here for Notre Dame. There's 2 timeouts remaining in the half.
Well, 3rd and 1, it's very manageable here. I wouldn't mind seeing get Gombas, get Zachary Cooper, Dexter Jackson, some of these guys going down the field, and keep your safety valve there to pick up the first if you need it.
Steeman to throw. He's going to air it out into the flats. Kane St. the 3rd losing 1 as Clemson will take their 2nd timeout.
No, you've got to throw it past the marker in that case. You cannot trust that your guy is going to be able to make a play from 5 yards behind and get you that 1st down. And that's exactly what happened. Caden St. the 3rd is one of the better running backs in the league, but he's not going to out-wrestle 2 guys off the Clemson defense.
So Notre Dame trying to muster drive, and Matt, they've been playing conservatively ever since that 2nd pick 6 thrown by Steeman, which we've seen many times with teams with freshman quarterbacks. The problem for them is, though, Clemson, there's blood in the water, and they can smell it.
That's the danger that you run into here is that, you want to protect your quarterback, you want to keep things safe, but at the same time, you can't be complacent in it. You can't be so conservative that it's not like you're not trying to make strides to fight your way back into the game.
Well, Will Slay tried to set up the halfback screen, just didn't have the time to do it, so he throws it away on 1st down. That stops the clock. They go halfback screen to the near side, and Dane Jones runs right over Minka Solo for the 1st down.
He just lowered his head and lowered the boom at the same time. Minka Solo, sure tackle, sure tackling guy. Yeah. But Dane Jones just acts like he's not there.
Jones put on a burst of speed, and Solo looked like he got ran over by a train. Didn't know what hit him as Clemson picks up the 1st down. Slay's got time. He'll go short, finding Jones, who is Clemson, or the Notre Dame defense returning the favor a little bit there.
Jones took a big shot on that one, too. Clemson running back here, trying to get set.
Trying to preserve that 3rd and final timeout as Slay taking a shot deep downfield, and a wide open Mike Ruby getting it across the Notre Dame 30.
All right, and that'll stop the clock, allow them to reset. Clemson going to get to go again here.
Out of the gun, Slay One timeout remains for the Tigers. Slay's going to take it a run. Will Slay turning up the sideline. Slay out across to the 12, and Clemson will take that final timeout, and they'll send out Frazier Flores.
Well, I mean, it's the big shot play that I was calling for. Clemson is able to pull it off, and it gets them in scoring position. They're going to try to add to this lead.
It'll be a 29-yard field goal attempt for Frazier Flores, and it is good.
Well, and Clemson has opened up now a 24-point lead on Notre Dame. Notre Dame's got some questions to answer when they go in at the half. Now, Tyler Steeman has got to realize that, okay, yeah, I made a couple of mistakes, but I'm the only guy who's going to get us back in this thing.
On the return, trying to get a big return was Bertier, and he had the room to do it, but got caught from behind. And so that'll take us to the end of the first half. Clemson, this started out, Matt, as a very back-and-forth game. At one point, these two teams were tied at 10 apiece, and then Clemson went on a 24-0 run.
Well, and 14 of those points were off pick sixes. That's the biggest thing to me is, again, Notre Dame they've looked good on offense in a lot of cases. They've looked good on defense, too. The issue is, though, is when you've got a young quarterback and he makes those mistakes. We saw it last week with Doug Day. Now we're seeing it with Steeman. That it's, Clemson is not going to let you live that down, or at least they haven't so far this season. And, you're putting yourself in a hole, then you're already up against it when you play in this squad.
And a hole that could very quickly get a lot deeper. Clemson will start the second half with the football in their possession and an opportunity to really open this thing wide up, as we want to give a shout out to Chalk Talk, seeing him in the live chat. You can join the Discord server by going to collegesimleague.com. That'll have the link. They'll take you into the Discord. You can make a profile, as we've got 22 teams in the league these days, 6 of which being the MAC, which you'll be able to join here this season, as Clemson, they'll start from their own 25 and looking to make this a 30-point game.
All right, and at this point, if you're Notre Dame, I think you got to feel like you got to get your shutout from this point forward.
Quick throw from Slay. He'll go underneath for Joseph Franklin. Franklin will get 4 yards, and that's how Clemson will opt to begin the half.
Clemson doing what they do. They open up. They start trying to throw it around here, throw it to the side, throw the short passes, use the runs, try to loosen this defense up, because we know what Slay wants to do.
Slay to throw, and he's going to take it a run, and he pushes Dane Jones forward as Jones dives trying to chop block, and then Slay gets caught in the sack.
Well, yeah, it's just, it's a rare miscue there by Will Slade. You got to give credit to the Notre Dame defense, who does exactly what they need to there. Josh Davis in there, the walk-on in there, helping get the stop. But it's long third down for the Clemson Tigers.
Chalk Talk saying he was in the league about a year ago, and so, just go into collegesimleague.com, and that'll get you the link to the Discord server. We'll get you back in, and look forward to chatting with you again in the server, as Notre Dame's looking forward to the fact that they get the offense back, they get the ball back so soon.
Well, they got the 3 and out that they needed right there, and Notre Dame's going to get the ball back. Let's see what there's the differences. Let's see if the confidence is back. Let's see if the adjustments were made in the half, that Tyler Steeman can come out here and get this offense rolling like he had them rolling early.
Well, on the return, Bubba Bertier is able to get it out to the 49-yard line. So out from midfield is where Tyler Steeman and his offense will begin the drive. And Steeman going to come out and take a shot downfield for Bertier.
And that's a good play. Bertier runs the corner route, and Steeman doesn't hesitate. He fires, hits him right in the hand. It's a good run and catch. It's a good throw and catch. And that's got to, that's what Notre Dame's idea has to be now. That's what their game plan has to be. We got to go for the throat on these guys. We've got to try to fight our way back into this.
Can't play scared against Clemson as they get it out to the Clemson 34. Quick throw over the middle. Here's Gombas. Gombas will move it inside the 30.
All right, so here's the thing. Now, all of a sudden, Steeman, apparently whatever was bothering him there in the first half seems to have shaken it off. Coming out of the halftime, the adjustments that the Irish have made, and he's looking good so far.
Steeman to throw. dancing, taking a shot to the left side. Touchdown Notre Dame, Austin Gambas.
And that's exactly what you need if you're Notre Dame right now. Everything has been going against you to end the first half. You're getting, kind of beat up on both sides of the ball. Things aren't going your way. Well, what's the first thing you need to get going? You need momentum. You need something to go your way. Granted, this is not getting them right back into the game, but this looks like a different team right now.
Well, Notre Dame's chasing points. Here the give to Saint on the draw for the 2-point conversion. Not going to get it.
Well, I felt a little early to go for 2 right there. I understand the math on it. I get why they're doing it. But, they got to say, okay, all right, we didn't get the 2. Let's get another stop.
On the return, Laird Olive, and Olive will get it out to about the 24-yard line, which is where Will Slay and company will have to come back out. And you talk about this, Notre Dame defense was able to adjust and force a 3-and-out to begin the half. Can they keep it up, though? That's the question.
Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, I don't think they're going to hold Clemson to not get another first down for the rest of this game. But they have got to limit the big plays. They've got to, keep a hat on Dorian Chase Miller and these other receivers, Chuck Ellis, C.J. Banks. And, they've got to force long drives out of them, if nothing else.
Well, Zach Howard nearly got to Slay. Slay has to check it down, and he'll throw this one away. So a long 3rd and 10 upcoming.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Notre Dame apparently now is going to just try to dial up the pressure on Will Slay and see if they can force him into some bad throws.
Slay throwing over the middle, pass caught by Ruby, but well short of the first down, and so it brings up 4th and 3. Notre Dame, another 3-and-out, back-to-back drives that they've been able to pull that off. 2 good defensive stands in a row to start the second half by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Now this offense for Notre Dame needs to do what it did last drive as well if they want to get back in this. On the return for Bertier, started from his own 29-yard line. Not quite the return that he had, meaning not quite the starting field position from the 49. Be a little bit less, be the 45 this time.
Yeah, it's still, but they've still got a short field in front of them here. So Steeman just has to do what he did early, find the holes in the defense.
Well, he'll go short, coming over the middle. That was Austin Gambas. Gambas able to get it across midfield, and he will pick up 7.
Austin Gambas out there throwing haymakers trying to get free over the middle there. Nice 7-yard pickup, though.
From the 48, empty backfield here for Steeman. Gambas going to get motioned into the backfield. Steeman pumps, swings it out for Austin Gambas. Gambas got lit up, but he got the first down.
Well, I mean, I think Gambas knew he was going to take a big hit on that one. So he does a good job protecting the ball, picking up the first.
6 minutes to play as Ty Perry records his 7th tackle of the night, pushing him up to 24 on the season. As Steeman taking a deep shot and getting behind the defense, Bubba Bertier for the touchdown.
Uh-oh. How about that? Notre Dame has two 3-and-outs that they forced on defense and 2 touchdowns scored on offense so far. They're going in to kick the extra point here. This is going to be the 13th unanswered point that Notre Dame has scored on Clemson since halftime.
An 11-point game now, thanks to Notre Dame, not just their defense, but to Tyler Steeman. Well, in the first half, 2 pick-sixes were thrown to this Clemson defense. He's come out, though, in the first half, and his first 2 drives, he throws 2 touchdown passes on back-to-back drives.
Well, I think he realizes that the young man has to have it on his mind, thinking, I can't play scared. Just like you said earlier, I can't go in here intimidated by this bunch, or I'm already beat.
Clemson now, the haymakers have been thrown back after they thought they had Notre Dame on the ropes. We'll see if they can start throwing out haymakers as Jones trying to do exactly that to pick up the first down.
Well, if you're going to do something, try to make a strong play if you're Clemson. Using Dane Jones is not a bad idea because he's a strong individual.
He gets 9 on first down. So 2nd and a yard, 5.5 minutes to play here in the 3rd. The give, Jones able to get the edge and a first down despite the effort by that Notre Dame defense.
Clemson's slowing it down here a little bit all of a sudden. Slay, he's had pressure on him. Now they're going to it looks like they're going to let Dane Jones carry some of the workload for him.
Slay, wide receiver screen here, and able to get Dustin Ellis picking up 4 out on the perimeter.
That's keeping close to the vest right now, playing short, using the run game, using the short passes, just trying to get this pressure off of Will Slay.
Slay pumps left on the screen, but couldn't get the throw off. coming in to make the hit, Mike Thompson. They will say the arm was going forward, so he gets away with an incomplete pass, not a sack.
All right, 3rd and 6 for Clemson here. Notre Dame trying to get one more play on this drive.
Quick throw over the middle, and he had the first down. Dustin Ellis was open, but he heard footsteps coming from behind him. He drops it, 4th down.
All right, it wasn't a 3 and out that time. I guess it was a 6 and out, something like that. But still, it serves the same purpose. Going to change field position a little bit, Notre Dame, if they don't get a big return here.
Well, Bertier's trying to give him exactly a big return. He will. He'll get it out to the 48-yard line. So excellent starting field position as this Notre Dame defense giving their offense a lot of short fields here to open up the second half.
Yeah, and it's got to be building confidence. If you're in, Steeman right now has to be feeling pretty good about how they're looking.
Steeman to throw, quick throw, finding Kane St. III. He'll sup off one, but can't get away from the second tackle as he picks up 4 yards.
It's another nice safe throw. Saint goes out there, he's his check down. He reads his defense, he doesn't see anything, gets to the open man, picks up a few yards.
Steeman in the gun, 4 wide trips, top the screen. Steeman to throw against a 3-man rush. Dancing right, taking a shot and over on the sideline. Brandon Maynard's the second, getting it inside the Clemson 30.
The tight end runs a nice corner route there, just right to the edge. Steeman delivers it. Outside of the 2 picks, Steeman has looked good passing the ball.
He certainly rebounded, not letting those 2 interceptions bother him. As our officiating crew would like to take another look at this catch to see whether or not Maynard was in, and I'd say it was pretty safe to say that's a catch.
Yeah, he's in. The tape on his feet there was
review
the
play. The ruling on the field stands.
So the officiating crew, they saw what we saw. It will stand as a catch as called on the field. And so they will start from the Clemson 28-yard line. Steeman in the gun. He'll look, throwing a wide receiver screen of his own and able to slip 1 tackle. It's Dexter Jackson on his way up to 21.
A lot of Clemson Tigers up around that line of scrimmage on that one, but Steeman does a good job of delivering the ball quickly, getting it out fast.
Empty backfield. Steeman pumps, looks. Dancing to his right, dancing in the pocket, going to the end zone, and it is picked off for the 3rd time tonight by this Clemson defense.
Well, there you see it. Who was it that caught him that time? Goodness, it was number 29. That's Dale Bryant. Pretty down pretty far on the depth chart there for Clemson, but makes a diving interception. That just, that's a rough one.
So Clemson will take over from their own 20, and Dane Jones going nowhere.
Yeah, and I don't know. That just felt like a Notre Dame's defense isn't giving up anything in the second half right now at all. Clemson's defense kind of bailed them out on that drive a little bit.
2nd and 12. The give. Jones on the counter run, cutting it back upfield. Dane Jones into the open field, and he is gone. If Bertier cannot catch him, and he won't. Touchdown, Clemson.
Well, and just that quick, Dane Jones breaks one wide open. You see the blocking sets up great for him. Nobody able to get close, and when he finds that seam up the middle, nobody's catching that man when he gets that far ahead. Great play by Clemson, great run by Dane Jones right there to put a little more distance between them, and a very eager and fighting back Notre Dame Fighting Irish team.
An 80-yard touchdown run for Dane Jones to push Clemson back out, widening that gap between the Tigers and the hometown Fighting Irish.
Well, it was just a well-designed play, and Jones took advantage. Now Notre Dame's going to say, okay, that's fine. We're back down 18 again, but we've proven what we can do.
Uh-oh. Down the right sideline, Zachary Cooper out to midfield on the return.
Well, Cooper does a good job of giving his team a short field again. Steeman, that last one, that I don't know who he's throwing that last interception to because there's nobody there but Clemson players, but, he's got to shake it off.
Caden St. III on the counter run, able to get it out inside the Clemson 45-yard line, picking up 7. And Matt, Notre Dame's worst starting field position of this half, their own 45-yard line. That's their worst starting field position of the half.
They've been playing in Clemson territory all night long.
Steeman from the gun, ball spotted at the Clemson 43. He'll look to throw, three-man rush, steps up and fires a dart in for Austin Gombis.
Well, Gombis does a good job, 7th catch, 85 yards on the night, already got a touchdown. And Tyler Steeman, again, seemingly no fear being shown. He's still firing the ball.
Steeman from the gun. Wide receiver screen here to the near sideline, and Gombis fighting. Only gets a few yards out of it, so 2nd down.
All right. Well, at this point again, I said earlier that Notre Dame had to feel like they needed to pitch a shutout. They didn't do that, but they are within striking distance.
Enter the 2nd in motion. They try to run it to that side, but in the backfield, Caleb Braden getting the stop, his 2nd tackle for a loss on the season.
Now this Clemson defense is starting to tighten down. Now this Clemson defense is saying, okay, we've let these guys score on us a couple of times. They got the pick last time, but they let them drive the field on them then, too. They're tightening the screws on them.
Notre Dame 2 of 7 on 3rd downs, trying to make it 3 of 8. But Canyon St. the 3rd off the short throw, not able to pick up that 1st down, stopped well short. And so out comes Andy Shalizzi.
Well, they're going to they need a field goal at this point anyway, so I don't hate this call. Go ahead, kick it, and take the 3.
This will be a 42-yard field goal attempt for Andy Shalizzi, and she remains perfect from distance.
All right, and that puts it to a 2-score game, which is what you're going for anyway on this drive. So it's positive traction for Notre Dame. Now they need their defense to do what they've been doing up to that last 80-yard run by Dane Jones this half.
Olive will kneel it in the end zone for a touchback, and so ball spotted at the 25-yard line. Just under 2 minutes of play here in the 3rd, and Clemson, you got to feel like that momentum has swung back into their side following that long touchdown run from Jones. It's a tight end Franklin motion. They're going to try to go to the hot hand, but Dane Jones couldn't find a crease. He's dropped in the backfield.
Well, Walker does a good job right there getting him in the backfield for his first tackle for loss on the night. And Dane Jones, I don't blame Clemson. You want to ride the hot hand, you should, because that guy's a game breaker. But at some point, it feels like Clemson. It almost feels like they're playing a little scared right now on offense.
Man rush, Slay coming over the middle, and able to hold on to that was Dustin Ellis. But he doesn't get much out of it, so it's still a long 3rd down here for Clemson.
Yeah, Dominic Slizzy there to wrap him up really quick. 3rd and 7 again. Clemson has not done well tonight on 3rd downs. They've got a pretty low percentage, only 30%.
Coming into tonight, they were converting at a rate of 38%, tied for 14th in the league on 3rd downs. But they go to the halfback screen, and Dane Jones, who's been hot for most of the night, just can't do it. He ends up a yard short.
All right, and that's going to be another Clemson punt, another nice defensive stand by Notre Dame, and who is catching up now in total yards, David, only trailing by about 32 yards against Clemson. The story of this game has been the turnovers. That's the difference right now. The only thing is Notre Dame still has time to do something about it.
Well, time may not have been on their side. Bertier muffed the punt. Lucky to get it back. And now a clipping call will back up Notre Dame. This will be called on Devontae Williams Jr., the 3
Still first down.
That's it. And Notre Dame, now they've got a long field in front of them. They've had a short field for most of the second half, and now they've got a big one in front. Can Steeman drive them down the field and not kill all the clock?
Out of the gun, Steeman. Looking short, finding Gombis. Gombis trying to cut it back upfield. Going to get 4 yards out of it, so a quick little play there for them.
Yeah, it's a nice, fast play, 2nd and 6. I say it a lot, that short passing game is just as good as using the running game. So, pick up 4 yards every play, you're in pretty good shape.
Trips here to the near side. Steeman going over the middle. Gombis slipping the tackle. Austin Gombis down the right side. Gets it out to about the 43-yard line before he's forced out of bounds.
And that'll give Austin Gombis 109 yards receiving tonight. So he's already being very productive, but he's fighting very hard on these catches, trying to get extra yards against this Clemson defense. He's seeming to try to take a leadership role here.
They had to shake off Maddox, fought with Kyler Smith. Clayton came over, helped to bring him down. Clock continues to run, though, out to the 44, nearing the end of this 3rd quarter. And Steeman with an empty backfield before him, as Steeman's going to take it a run. And he could not get away from Bill McAllister.
Now he takes off and runs, feels like he's got some space there, and then a large white jersey-clad arm reaches out and snatches him in the midst of his momentum and drags him down. Big Bill McAllister trying to make his senior year count.
A change of direction by McAllister is what really got me as he turned around to catch Steeman.
Yeah.
End of the third quarter. Clemson up 41-26 here from South Bend, and Notre Dame trying to mount the comeback. You're watching CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live. Stay tuned.
Focus, defense, focus. Ready.
Start of the fourth quarter. Steeman to throw, gonna air it out and throw it out of bounds. So 3rd and 12.
All right, long third down for Notre Dame, and you know, at this point, I don't think they can really afford to waste possessions, you know, because Clemson's not making any mistakes on offense.
Steeman trying to set up the halfback screen. Kane St. the third swarmed quickly. You saw the white jerseys there outnumbering the blockers, and then they just closed so fast.
Don't like the play call there. Don't like it at all. I get trying to be a little misdirecting. I get trying to trick them a little bit, but at that point, I still think you got to throw past the marker.
So Clemson's defense will hold, and they force a punt. As Olive, pretty decent return here with 8:32 to play. And Clemson trying to hold on here to this lead. Gonna see a lot of running, I would expect, in this half.
You got to expect that, Dane Jones is going to have a pretty heavy workload here in the fourth.
Slice says, forget your heavy workload. I'm going to take a shot. Unfortunately for Notre Dame, that shot was not hauled in by Minka Solo.
Yeah, Minka Solo had his hands on that one, and if he'd have got it, it probably would have been 6.
So Slay living dangerously as he tries to help his offense protect the lead. They'll go halfback screen. Jones fighting. Just a couple of yards out of it. So it's a long third down here for Clemson.
All right, another long third, and they're only, I think, 3 for 11 right now on third downs on the night. So, yeah, they need to try to convert this one, try to get some more of this time off the clock.
Halfback screen to the field side this time. Jones in a foot race, but got caught by Dominic Shalizzi, and he'll drag Jones down short of the sticks.
All right, and they force another Clemson punt here in the second half. Now, here we are, almost just under 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Notre Dame trails by 15 points, okay? 2-score game. They just got to get something going on offense.
Well, Dexter Jackson with the return gets it out to about the 36-yard line. So Notre Dame taking over again. Got an opportunity here, but can they capitalize on it? Steeman to throw, steps up into the pocket, has to check it down, and he put that about as perfectly as he could behind Gambas where the defender couldn't get to it.
Yeah, he threw that one away from the defender more than he did towards Gambas. Yeah. Kind of hung Gambas out to dry on that one, but they did pick a yard up.
So Gambas reached out, makes the grab, only gets a yard out of it, but Steeman feeling in trouble, and he's going to run into the sack for Bill McAllister, his third on the night.
Well, McAllister's been there all night long frustrating Steeman. Part of the reason some of those picks he's thrown, and then he's got to him several times. So Big Bill is doing what he's, it's his job. This is what the guy does for Clemson. He's the cornerstone of that defensive line. And another long third down for Notre Dame.
7 tackles, 3 sacks on the night for Bill McAllister, as it is 3rd and 14 here for the Fighting Irish. Steeman pumps, looks, steps up into the pocket, fires a laser over the middle. Zachary Cooper looked like he might have had the first down, but he comes back for it. It is 4th and 2. Notre Dame's going for it.
Well, they have to, I think, at this point. They're 2 scores down, just over 6 minutes left.
Well, a flag thrown as McAllister lunges and tackles the center, and they get him to jump. The hard cadence. We've got an encroachment penalty, and Notre Dame gets the free 5 yards and a first down.
Wow. That's just a good job with the hard count there by Steeman to get Big Bill to jump like that.
So from the midfield stripe, Steeman in the gun, the freshman with the hard count, the counter run. Kane St. the third shrugging off a couple tacklers as he picks up 2.
It looks like he was going to shrug off the entire Clemson defense there for a minute, but Clemson does a good job, holding to a 2-yard gain.
2nd and 8. Steeman, the give, right back to Kane St. the third, started right, cuts it back upfield. He'll get the first down.
All right, now Notre Dame finding some traction again on offense. And again, how wild is it that offsides play
I'm still baffled by it.
Is what has kept this drive alive for Notre Dame.
And it seems to have sparked it because now Notre Dame's moving the ball a lot easier than they were before it, as here's Steeman with running room, fighting, and he'll get the first down.
All right, and again, you got to think that this defense is getting worn down a little bit because Notre Dame has been on offense a lot tonight.
First down and 10. Steeman, the give to the back of a tailback as Watson. He'll get 4 yards.
All right, and we see it again here that even the backup's picking up 4 yards here. Again, Clemson's defense is very, very good, but it's been on the field a long time here in this second half. And Notre Dame, they're in it's a two-score game. If they can somehow get 7 here, push this to 1 score, then all the pressure is on the Clemson Tigers.
Steeman on the wheel route. There's Saint, and he'll step out of bounds after getting the first down.
And he had green grass in front, too. Had all the chance in the world, but, couldn't gather himself and keep it in bounds. So 1st and 10 again for the Irish.
Gets it out to the 13. The give. Saint stopped in the backfield, and that'll back Notre Dame up outside the 15-yard line. It's Deontay Shields getting his second tackle for a loss here tonight.
Does a good job of wrapping Saint up right there. I don't mind Notre Dame trying to keep this Clemson defense as honest as they can with the run right here. Trying to get them to bite up a little bit. I mean, heck. But I would like to see them throw the ball here to Gombas or Jackson.
12th play of the drive and a throw over the middle to the walk-on Greg Anderson, who is the 8th wide receiver on the depth chart. So that tells you how tired this Notre Dame offense is.
Well, the same thing goes for them. I said something about Clemson's defense had to be wore out. Same thing for this Notre Dame offense. They've put in a lot of plays here in the second half.
See Steeman looking tired. Maynard, the second, coming in the backfield. They pitch it to him. A stiff arm from Maynard. He fights. Did he get there? Yes!
Wow. That was an effort first down. For it. That's something else.
He had to stretch to get the ball across the marker, but 1st and goal from the 2. Steeman, the pitch. Saint couldn't get in, but he gets it down to the 1.
All right. Steeman does a good job of getting rid of that one. And Saint does a good job of just picking up what he knows he can right there.
2nd and goal. Steeman in the backfield. Kane St. the third getting a breather on the sideline. So in comes Stephen Watson. Steeman keeps it. Drop behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 3. And this is now the 15th play of the drive as McAllister gets his 4th tackle for a loss. 3rd and goal.
McAllister is living rent-free in the Notre Dame backfield right now. He is being a force, especially down here.
From the gun, Steeman, 15th play of the current drive, inside of 4 minutes of play. Steeman striking off the sack, and he has to throw it through the back of the end zone. 4th and goal.
Well, the pressure was just too much for him right there. And, of course, Notre Dame has got to go for it here with under 4 minutes left.
Steeman dancing to the end zone. Incomplete. Clayton forcing the incompletion, and Notre Dame turns it over on downs.
Well, they had to go for it there, but he throws into double coverage. And the interception gets forced. Clayton is in on it. Also, we can see there that number 50, Caleb Braden, is out there, is the one who gets his hands on it. Now Clemson gets the ball back. Barring a turnover or something crazy, I feel like, the chances are running pretty slim here for the Irish.
Slay on the quarterback keeper, and he'll get 8 yards. And part of the reason why, Matt, you feel that way, Notre Dame began that 16-play drive with 7:37 on the clock. They burned up almost 4 minutes in time of possession.
Yeah, and then came away with nothing for it.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
2nd and 2, Slay going to keep it again, and he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. As back up on defense, Albert Lean, the 5th linebacker on the depth chart, coming up to make that stop. 3rd down.
3rd and 3 here. Notre Dame has got to pin their ears back. They got to get a stop here. They got to get it quick and try to get the ball back.
Slay out of the gun, letting time tick away and wind down as far as the play clock will allow as we cross the 3-minute threshold. It's a 4-wide set. Notre Dame playing close to the line here. Slay off the snap, trying to set up the screen to the far side. Couldn't connect with Dame Jones.
Not only is it an incomplete pass forcing third down, it also stops the clock. Clemson going to be punting from their end zone. Notre Dame should have decent field position in front of them on this one.
Clemson has had to punt on their last 3 drives, and decent field position. Let's try great field position. Zachary Cooper able to get it into Clemson territory to begin this drive. About the 40-yard line too, but Bill McAllister has made life rough for Tyler Steeman in the backfield
Well,
tonight.
he really has. Like I said, he's living rent-free in the backfield and probably living rent-free in Steeman's head right now.
Oh, for sure.
And Steeman about to have to come back out here. And Big Bill, one of the big, he's like I said, the cornerstone, I feel like, of this defensive line. Going to try to close this thing out for his team. Help Clemson go ahead and shut the door on Notre Dame.
8 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 3 sacks tonight for McAllister. Steeman feeling the pressure, but he's able to zip that one in for Gombas.
Nice job of stepping up into the pocket right there by Steeman and firing just a dart to Gombas.
Tripp stopped the screen as Kyler Smith gets his 8th tackle of the night. Steeman to throw, pressure coming, going to the end zone, jump ball, almost intercepted by Jake Maddox.
Well, Jake Maddox could have very easily had his second one right there. That one hits him in the hands. Steeman threw that one late and let the defense and let Maddox get in front of it.
Maddox very well could have intercepted it and sealed this game as Maynard gets a grab, hit hard, he gets 6 yards, so a very manageable 3rd down.
Oh, yeah, and I see in chat they're saying that Mike says they triple team Big Bill on that last one.
Yeah.
I do not blame them because they do not want him getting back in the backfield anymore.
3rd and 4 on a night where Clemson 3 of 12 on 3rd downs here tonight. They're converting at a rate of 25%. As Steeman going short in the back of Watson, he can't get the first down either. Josh played in there with the cover.
And again, you're having success on the slants and the corners and over the middle stuff. Where you're not having your success is when you're throwing out these little out routes, these little flat routes to the outside and letting the speed of this Clemson defense, hold you back.
Empty backfield on 4th and 6. Steeman gets a 3-man rush. Going to the open receiver, the first down out to the 13 by the walk-on Alan Cook.
All right, Alan Cook comes down with that one. Again, we're getting like deep in the depth chart here.
Got to be the 9th or 10th receiver on this depth chart. As Steeman to the end zone, and another missed opportunity for Clemson, this time by Doug Brooks.
Well, Brooks just not able to bring it down. 2nd and 10, 1:28 left.
Brooks is deep on the Clemson depth chart too, so both teams having to dig deep into their reserves. As Steeman to the end zone of the pylon, touchdown Maynard.
All right, nice job. Maynard able to haul that in, keep his feet in bounds. Cuts this to a 1-score game, but man, time is not on Notre Dame's side here. And they're going for 2, and hey, why not?
If they get this, that would make it a 7-point game. Steeman looking, dancing, can't get the throw off. McAllister got to him again.
Yeah, McAllister just doing what McAllister's been doing all game long. Steeman had time, though. He had time in the pocket.
Onside kick try. We saw one last night. The ball got knocked out of the hands of the Hands team, and it was recovered by the kicking team because when that Nebraska-USC game, Dorian Chase-Miller, though, you're not going to knock it out of his hands.
Not likely, no.
So Clemson will take over from the Notre Dame 41. Dane Jones going to get the carry right up the middle for the first down.
All right, Notre Dame takes their first time out, trying to preserve whatever they can. It's still a 9-point game here, it's a long shot, but they're going to do everything they can to stay in this.
Slay shrugs off one tackle and gets hit pretty hard there by Al Walker. You see, trying to knock the ball free. 1 timeout, though, now remains for Notre Dame.
All right, and here on 2nd and 5, Clemson will try to run this thing out.
And they will, with Jones getting the first down and forcing Notre Dame to burn their 3rd and final timeout.
Absolutely, and then here we go again. Now they're just going to sit on it.
They're going to kneel it, and Clemson looked like they were going to run away with it. Notre Dame battles their way back into it and probably gave Clemson a scare. In back-to-back weeks, a team has come close to knocking the Tigers off their perch.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I know the AD of Clemson Clutch would be the first one to tell you, and he knows this, that every week in this league right now, there is not a team here that's got a bigger target on their back than the Clemson Tigers. They got a big bullseye around them because of everybody wants to be the team to knock them off. Everybody wants to be the team. We keep talking about they're defending this. They're not defending anything. Okay, when they get their season championship trophy for last year, if they lose a game this year, they don't have to give that to the other team. You know what I mean? But everybody wants to be the ones to knock them off their perch here, to be the first one to drop them. And Clemson, that's a lot to have to game plan against week in, week out. I've been there, and it's hard when you know that you're the team that everybody's gunning for.
Well, so far, everybody's gunning for him, but Clemson remains unbeaten and has now won 13 of their last 14 games. Saw the face mask penalty there at the end, helping Clemson to get a new set of downs to kneel it and salt it away as Dane Jones, a big night, 130 yards on the ground, had 2 rushing touchdowns, and it keeps the unbeaten record of Clemson intact as Notre Dame will fall to 1-2 on the season. In a hard-fought game, 41-32, our final score here from South Bend, but don't go anywhere. The final part of our triple header here on a Tuesday night still to come. Texas A&M going on the road to South Beach to take on the Miami Hurricanes. We'll be back with that in about 20 to 30 minutes. For Matt, I'm David. You've been watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live, and we'll see you then.